All right, fellas, let's get into it. Today we are talking the other side of body game. All right, we're talking the other side of body game. Now, the reason I'm even talking about this is because, listen, I'm not saying body game is everything. I'm literally just telling you guys exactly how it personally changed my life. Because here's the thing, guys, you got to realize that I was I was supposed to be like written off, bro. I was like, it's literally like an isekai. It's like I literally was not supposed to have any trajectory. There was no hope. I was cooked. Everyone was always roasting me. Like when I say that stuff, I'm dead serious. I'm not just saying that to say it. All right. So I'm not really like I think a lot of you guys think that I'm some kind of advocate for body game or something. I'm not being an advocate. I'm just telling you guys how the fuck it works and the experience I had, but obviously how human nature works as well. Because a lot of you guys think I'm just like saying it, to push it or something like that. The reason I'm pushing it is because that shit does work, and I'm literally living proof. All right. It's legitimately like a isekai. Like I swear to God, like night and day difference in every aspect of life. And I will show you guys all of that. And the reason I want to show you guys the other side of body game, because a lot of you guys complain about stuff. Um, you guys complain about a lot of stuff, but when I look at you guys, it's like, yo, you got way more potential than I had when I started. Like 10 times the amount of potential I had when I started. You're just lazy as shit. You see what I'm saying? Like most of you guys have a good base, right? You think your face is cooked. Guess what? You don't get haircuts and you're not lean enough to have like a jawline. That's all it really is. All right? It's nothing else. Anyways, let's get into who this video is for and who this video is not for. A lot of you guys are obviously, like I said, lazy and unable to delay gratification. If that's you, you're not going to get results. All right? There's a lot of people that are always, praying for shit they're not willing to work for, and they'll be like, "Yo, what's the macros, bro? What's the workout plan?" It doesn't fucking matter what it is because you don't have the mindset to get it done because you're impatient. Whatever I say, however long it takes, you're going to try to find a shorter way so you'll never get your goals in your entire life because you're going to spend your entire life trying to find the shorter way. All right. Obviously, if you're uncomfortable and not willing to commit for at least 6 months, that is a bare minimum timeline. That is not a long period of time at all. It passes all the time. We're already 6 months into this year. All right. What have you done this year? Probably fucking nothing. All right. Probably haven't done anything with nutrition, workouts, any of that. Probably January 1st, you made a resolution. You're like, yeah, I'm locked in this year. But you weren't willing to change your mindset. So guess what? Now you're in the same fucking spot. If you're full of excuses and constantly do this goofy ass fad diet shit, obviously it's not gonna work for you. You can't reach body game with this mentality. Like this whole mindset right here is the opposite of a lifestyle. Lifestyle means day in and day out. One more thing, if you're not willing to change your relationship with food, a lot of you guys have to in your head, right? This is your standard. You have to get drunk on the weekend and you have to eat like shit on the weekend. Like I said, this is a lot of you guys' standard. This is not how it really fucking works. All right. Now, obviously, if you're not willing to prioritize yourself and others, this is a basic bare minimum as well, because you got to be willing to prioritize yourself and your own health. All right. But if you're not, then this is definitely not for you because if you don't prioritize your health, set boundaries, and really, really look out for yourself, because self discipline is the highest form of self love, you're never, ever going to reach your goals. All right. It's just not going to happen. All right. All right. So, like I said, guys, in every class, you know how they do at the end of the year, they do like the end of your senior year, they do like, who is the most likely to be lame or whatever. Like there was just all these rewards they're giving me. Like I was least popular, most likely to be lame, and just all this stupid shit. Right? They were just roasting the shit out of me every day. Every first period, I got roasted for how I looked, obviously because looks matter. Right? And I was skinny as shit, not on body game. Right? They used to roast me, and then they used to ask me, they're like, "Yo, how are you related to your brother? Because you look like legitimately, bro." Chicks used to come up to me and say this shit. They used to be like, "Yo, how are you related to your brother? Because he looks so good and you look like shit." I was like, bro, they used to just like this is how upfront they were with that. And it was just like, damn, bro, like I really got to get this shit together, bro. Like I was just always reading books. I was just low key, like never like when I say I didn't, I'm not saying I didn't pull chicks, bro. I unpulled chicks. Like you guys don't believe me, but that was just my life, bro. Like I'm not even kidding. All right. Obviously, it's been a 12-year journey, right? Over the years, put on some muscle. So the way I did it is obviously in high school, like with football and stuff like that. I learned how to lift, like with the form and shit. And I was always like technical with the form, but as far as like actually putting on muscle, I didn't eat enough, so I wasn't putting on muscle, right? And then my senior year of high school, I got gastritis, so then I ended up losing 22 pounds, or was it 25 pounds? I lost like 22 plus pounds in like 1.5 weeks or some shit. So it was a lot of muscle glycogen, obviously some fat too. And I just couldn't put on weight because, I had gastritis with ulcers, not very fun. So that was my entire senior year. So besides getting roasted, I was dealing with stomach pain, couldn't digest shit. lost my starting spot because in football, if you lose 30 fucking pounds and you're a linebacker, I mean, good luck, right? That shit matters. All right. So yeah. Um, but after that, I healed my gastritis through nutrition. That's why I would say nutrition is so important for a lot of things. I healed my gastritis through nutrition, and then put on some muscle, and then did a few cut slash main gaining slash bulk phases, and here we are today, right? But the reason I always talk so much about nutrition is because it's literally the forefront to everything. It's how you pack on muscle. It's how you lose fat. It's how you get rid of type 2 diabetes. How you lower your cholesterol. You lower your blood pressure. All of that stuff, right? And money comes and go. You can flex money, right? You can act like you have money when you don't, but you can't act like you have a good body when you don't, unless you just Photoshop fucking everything, right? But then in real life, when people see you, they're gonna be like, oh shit, right? And for those of you who say like body game shit doesn't matter, listen, this is by far the hardest thing to get because more people are able to access money, more people are able to become millionaires than they are to get six packs. All right, so this is by far the most important part because why not work on the hardest part first, right? Get that out the way. And another thing is once you actually get this, right, people are more receptive to you. When I wasn't on Body Game, bro, and I would talk to somebody, they were not receptive to me. They didn't want to fucking listen to me. They're like, dude, get out my face. Even when I was a personal trainer, they used to be like, dude, get out my face. Go up to a chick, get out my face. Now, I approach in the same manner, same words. They'll be like, yo, yeah, what's going on? Or people start conversations now. So as far as like social shit and shit like that, your social game's gonna open up when you're on Body Game because people are more receptive to you because you're rare. Because what did I say is hard to get? Body Game. So you're rare, so people are going to listen to you because they're like, what he's saying is important because obviously he looks like he has his shit together because he looks different from everybody else here. All right, if you got a bunch of skinny people and a bunch of overweight people, and you got one dude that's lean, people are most likely going to listen to the dude that's lean because he could obviously follow through on shit, and he obviously has discipline and ambition. All right, speaking of discipline, fitness literally increased my discipline to the point where I was able to apply it to every other aspect of life. You gotta realize cutting is hard, but so is bulking, bro. Bulking, main gaining, all that shit. Because here's the thing: after 1 week of main gaining or lean bulking, right, eating in at at maintenance or 200, 300 calories more than maintenance, dude, you're full already, dude. Like you're full after 1 week, and you have to keep eating to build that muscle. That means that you have to look at food as fuel, and you have to realize that, you know, eating is just a means to getting to your goal. All right, that's how you have to approach nutrition. Eating is fuel. Food is fuel. It's a means to get to your goal. All right, it's a vehicle to get to your goal. So that means when you're cutting, if you're hungry, who fucking cares, right? Stay in that deficit so you can lose the fat. That means when you're bulking or you're main gaining and you're full, but you still have to eat. Who cares? Keep eating so you can reach your goals. All right, you have to delay gratification because you're not getting any results in a short period of time. It's not happening. You're not getting significant results in a short period of time, and this is exactly why body game is rare. And most people will always try to justify why it doesn't matter because they don't want to delay gratification, right? They don't want to be consistent and see the power of the compound effect. People don't want to see that. All right, they don't want to take the time. Like best believe there is no other way around getting results with delaying gratification. To build your traps, it's gonna take at least 6 months, right? A lot of you guys have spent years packing on fat. It's going to take at least a year to lose it. And you guys aren't willing to do that. So you're looking for shortcuts or like, nah, it doesn't matter. I'll just compensate with money. Listen, you're going to have to compete with Bill Belichick and all that. And that's a whole different ball game. That's a whole different ball game, right? The whole money side of stuff, all right? The body game is going to be more genuine desire and all that shit. But yeah, um, obviously not going out as much, doing different things than other people do. And the thing is, a lot of you guys always seem to be upset that you can't do what average people are doing, but you want to be above average. So why the fuck would you be upset with what they're doing? If the average person is out drinking every weekend and drinking margaritas and eating like shit, and you don't get to, that's good. That means you're going to be on a different level than they are, right? A higher level. I don't call it sacrifices at all. I don't think it's a sacrifice if you're doing what's best for you. I don't see how that's a fucking sacrifice. If you look at not eating whatever you want to as a sacrifice, then you're just a fat fuck, bro, because that's literally bettering your health. All right. So one of the things that changes, of course, is going to be how your family and friends see you. Another thing about that is you're probably going to have new friends because after a while, like if you're getting leaner than everybody else and they're not following through with it, you're going to have different habits and you're going to have different experiences everywhere you go. Like for example, if you got a group of 5 friends and you guys are all 25% body fat, out of shape, right? You guys are going to be, have the same experiences, complaining about the same shit. When you get out of that victim mentality, you lock in and you get lean as shit. Now, when you guys go out, the waitress is going to be talking to you, smiling at you, not at everybody else. People are going to be approaching you. They're going to get jealous, but then also you guys will have different habits. All right, you'll have different habits. That's why a lot of people will say in the comments. I'll see people say like, "How do you get friends on BodyGame?" It's like, I already know you're not lean. I already know you're not locked in because you want you want friends that are doing shit that you're not even doing, and you think they're gonna help you do what you need to do. That's not how it fucking works. All right, you know, like you guys expect. Here's the thing. That's like trying to be safe mentality. Like you're 25% body fat. You want your friends all to be 10%, and you expect them to motivate you enough to get to 10%. Motivation is only gonna take you so far. Maybe it'll take you to 20%. It's not taking you to 10, bro. You need ambition. All right, and someone's gonna comment, motivation matters. Shut up, bro. Shut the fuck up. All right, now everything's different now because my friends see me as fit. So if they got to lose fat for a wedding or some shit, I cuss them out if they try to lose fat for a wedding, but I still give them some tips and shit like that. Or if they have some issues, or if they have a question, because one of my friends, he was like, "Hey man," he's already pretty much in shape, obviously, because I mean that's pretty much what I hang out with. But he wanted to get a little bit leaner for pictures on a cruise, so I gave him some tips and shit like that because he was going on a cruise with his girl. But yeah, you got to stay ready so you can get ready, man. But yeah, your family's gonna respect you more too because they realize that you went through a journey. All right, just like solo leveling, he was an E rank, he was a loser. His sister was kind of like, he is who he is. And then by the end of season two, he has all that clout because of the work he put in, and she's respecting him more. And you can't not like you can't help but to respect that, right? Like respect is earned, not given. I don't think you guys know what that means. Like, do you guys know what that means? No, you guys don't. Because you guys want respect while you're playing Roblox and you have titties and you're 40% body fat and you've never done anything in your life and you just want respect. You're like, well, they should love me for how I am. You're nothing. Like, what are they loving you for? But you're literally nothing. You literally, you take a shit, you don't finish wiping your ass. You DoorDash, you play Roblox, play, Minecraft and shit like that. You're not doing anything. You're not offering anything to the world, which is okay, in your head. Not everyone else said, but you're not offering anything to the world. You just expect people to respect you for what, bro? What did you do? Like, what are you doing? Like, if you hack like the U.S. government or some shit and like erase everyone's taxes, then people will respect you. But like, you're not doing that. You're just sitting and playing Roblox, trying to escape your real life. No one's gonna respect that shit. All right, this is one I know a lot of you guys care about and shit like that. But yeah, man, like it's completely different when you date before and after fitness. It's different. So before I was absolutely. I'm not gonna say I was cooked. I was deep fried, and I thought it was over, bro. It was bad, bro. It was bad. Like I used to get ghosted all the time. I used to. I remember. This is gonna be so embarrassing to say this story. Fuck it. I remember in high school, bro. In high school, right? Because my brother would always be getting chicks and stuff like that because he was on Body Game, obviously. And me, I was just some weird looking kid, not on Body Game, just skinny as shit. So I remember I was like, you know what? Let me approach this chick that I think is cute and let me talk to her. So I started talking to her in class, and she was being receptive. She was like, mm-hmm. Right, and we're just like kind of standing around waiting for the bell to ring. That was like 10 minutes before the bell rang. So I was talking to her for like 5 minutes, and she was being receptive. And then mid conversation, she's like, "Hold on," and she just goes to stand on the other side and like hide from me basically. Like that's how uninterested she was, bro. She literally said, "Hold on," and just stood on the other side, like went to stand over on the other side, and just like waited by the door, and just like completely ignored me and never talked to me again for the rest of the year. By the way, so yeah, obviously that was pretty embarrassing for me. Yeah, But yeah, of course, no choosing signals, right? But people would look at me and they wouldn't feel pity. They would have utter disgust. They'd be like, "How dare?" They'd be like, "How dare?" God let something like that crawl on earth. I swear to God, that's the looks I used to get. Like the energy behind the looks. Like I know energy behind looks, bro. Like that's like the energy behind the looks I used to get. Like people used to be like, "How dare?" How dare him sneak on earth without God's permission? That's how people looked at me, bro. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. And I was like, yo, if I could just be the last choice for some chicks. No, I wasn't even the last choice, bro. I'd be blocked if I DM like a 5 out of 10, bro. I guess she'd feel disrespected, bro. And yeah, like I said, when I cold approached, bro, I was getting cooked. It was not pretty, bro. It was not pretty. Anyways, that was before, obviously. After, everything was different, right? Like, um, got an approach. I've gotten approached in person at least like 20, I don't know, maybe more than that, but at least 20 times confirmed. Like I've gotten a person, gyms, grocery stores, stuff like that. Like I told you guys that grocery store when that chick put her number on my car and shit like that. But or a chick in the grocery store just asked me a dumbass question that literally makes no fucking sense. They'll be like, I remember this girl was with a dude. I think they were friends, right? He might have been in the friend zone, but she just pulled up on me and she's like, "Excuse me, do you think this is that?" And she was just saying some shit. And I was like, "Yo, clearly choosing, right?" And yeah, so many more choosing signals. Like every single day, I get choosing signals, and you know, like just I see like if there's like two chicks together and they're like sitting down eating somewhere, and I'm just walking in, especially when I come back from the gym and I got like a pump and shit like that. They'll just like start like they'll just stop what they're doing. They'll be like, and then they like start staring at me and shit. So and obviously when I talk to people, it's better, way better reception, right? Like they're more tentative, right? And that's the thing about that's another thing about social game, bro. Like if you talk to someone when they think you're attractive, they obviously receive you way different than if they think you're unattractive. That's just basic fucking knowledge. So if you're like, you know what, let me improve my social skills, and you just have a big ass stomach, bro, and you just look messy, right? It's like people are gonna be like, I don't want to be seen talking to this fuck. You know what I mean? Like that's just we live in an appearance based society. It is what it is. It is what it is. Versus if you walk in a room, you're leanest, you're clean, everyone's gonna try to talk to you. It's not that deep. It's not that deep, right? Not that deep. But yeah, and then I forgot to say, like a lot of like from me getting left unseen for DMs, obviously, to like getting DM first a lot, that changed as well. So like most of the time, I'm usually getting DM first or message first somewhere or whatever. That's just how it works, right? And I know a lot of dudes are always like, "Yo, man, I love the challenge, man. I'm trying to get this chick. I'm trying to smash. I love the chase. I love the chase, man. It's been 6 days. I love the chase." It's like chicks are trying to like when you get on body game, chicks are gonna try to get in your pants, bro. You're gonna have to be like, dude, you're literally gonna have to be like, I don't do this on the first date, and then they're still gonna like, chase you and shit. Like, it's crazy. It's way different. It's way different. Like, so as soon as she meets you, you feel it's on go, right? Versus where you used to have to take them on like 77 dates and shit when you're not on body game. Because here's the thing. The funny thing is, the funny thing is, like, it's always sad when a chick breaks up with a dude because I already know that dude was putting in work. That dude was taking her different places, going on a bunch of dates. Sometimes they might go the whole week without smashing, and then as soon as she breaks up with him, and she meets me or somebody else or some shit. To the first within the first hour, we already linking up type shit. All right, yeah. One thing I will tell you though, for real, and I'm a big ignorer of choosing signals, right? But dude, choosing signals are fucking insane when you're on body game, bro. I literally ignore them as much as possible because when I first when I first got into shape and stuff like that, I was still kind of processing, that I built a lot of muscle and stuff. I was still kind of processing it. So every time someone looked at me, I was always like, oh, I'm probably just wearing a weird shirt. Let me wear something less, less noticeable next time. Like that's how I was thinking, but it wasn't the clothes. It was just me, right? People were just gravitating towards me, right? But I was super conservative and like super like shy and shit. So I was like, nah, it's no way, man. It's no way they're looking at me, man. So I downplayed it for like a year, bro. Like literally a year, bro. But yeah, people are gonna approach you and ask you questions, man. I got some clients off of like grocery stores because they're just asking me like, hey, what's this, what's that, and then they would just they'd be like, yeah, so like, how do I start training and shit like that. So I got some in person clients just from that and shit like that because I keep telling you guys this. You guys. I don't know when you guys are gonna believe me, but just when you're walking and doing your stuff, doing your daily daily stuff, just look how many lean people you see. All right. Now you might see some people with muscle, but they might be 25% body fat. That's common. There's a lot of people who've been lifting for a long time, right? And they still, when they look down, they can't see their toes, right? Because they have a stomach. So that's pretty common. So how many people do you actually see when you go to the gym, when you go to the store, when you go to church, when you go wherever you go, right? Go to the club. How many people do you actually see that are in shape? Just think about it. It's not a lot. All right. Obviously, different stories, right? Like I said, man, women are really gonna chase you, bro. Like I said, the woman, there's a woman that flew me out, flew to me, drove to me, all that shit, drove me around, offered to drive me, pick me up to go to dates and shit like that, and they insist on it. Like there's a lot of that. There's just it's a lot of that, right? So that's why a lot of times you guys will be like, wait, why does she like the broke dude, man? Because here's the thing, if you're a broke dude on body game, man, and you kind of go by the beat of your own drum, you're still gonna get hella chicks, bro. It is what it is. Like you're probably using her car and shit. Like I remember Yo, I had a crazy stretch, bro. I'm gonna have to make a story time of like that 6 month period. But that's that stretch of time. I think about it every once in a while, and I just don't understand what the fuck is going on. Like I probably need to make a movie about this shit. It was just insane. But anyways, I will never understand how this happened, so don't ask me. But I remember I made some chick cook for me, and I was at her place. But then the next day, don't ask me how. I don't remember how I got there. The next day, I went to see some other chick. But then I was like, let me actually stay here. I want to stay in this town because I like it here, right? I'm not gonna tell you the town it was, but I was like, I like it here. Let me stay in this town. So then I went to another chick, right? This is like the same day, and then she just let me stay there for like 5 fucking days, and I was like, okay, cool. Just chilling there for like 5 days, like obviously not paying rent and shit. She was buying the food and shit, so I was just chilling. But it's just like a lot of shit like that happens, man. Like chicks are more receptive, and you're gonna get way better treatment. It is what it is. Like a lot of you guys think that like there's like the 90-day rule. Like I've had some people tell me like, yeah, man, I gotta wait 90 days with this chick, and I'm like, yes you do, but I don't, but you do, because like that just means you're not her type shit, bro. It is what it is. All right, and yeah, man, when they're actually interested in you, things change. They're willing to pay. Well, they're not willing to pay for that. They really want to, right? Like you're gonna have to be like, no, 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 I got this. Like you're gonna have to really insist that you got this, right? They'll do anything to see you, right? And a lot of you guys, like I said, you might be with a chick and she might be like, yeah, I don't really give head, or I don't do this, or I don't do that for you, because she's not attracted. That just means she's not attracted to you, bro. And like, it is what it is. All right. But yeah, work interactions obviously as a nurse. Like I tell you, man, the shit was crazy, bro. Like the amount of the amount of stories I got from like nursing is it's crazy, man. I told you guys some of them on live and stuff like that, but um, yeah, man, I remember there was this nurse, man. She had a man's, but I mean, I didn't know because I mean, I kind of knew, but she kind of got my vibes. Like when I walked in there, bro, bro, when I walked in there, I had so much aura, bro. But at the same time, I just gave no fucks, bro. Cause she knew an agency nurse was coming. She thought it was gonna be like some, probably like a fat lady, cause that's usually who it is. And she saw me literally wearing this, like tatted up. She's like, "Who the fuck is this guy, bro?" And like, yeah, she was just like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" So, anyways, I walked in there and she like insisted on giving me her number and stuff like that. But you could just tell I didn't give a shit. She was like, "Oh my gosh, so like we have all this stuff happening." I was like, "Yo, I don't need report, bro. I can handle anything. I've done it before." And she was like, "No, no," but I was like, "Yeah, I don't need report." She's like, "But take my number in case you need anything." So I was like, "Oh, okay." Like the first time she said that, I was like, "No, I don't need your number because I'm so good at the system. It's ridiculous." I'm like, I'm probably the best at the system because when I started working is when they started the system, and the place I was working at, that was like one of the first places to start that system. So I was so good at that system. But she's like, "No, no, no, still take my number." I was like, "Okay, cool." So I decided to take it, and then you know what happens after that, bro. But yeah, I think she had a man. Well, confirmed. Anyways, um, just like with my personal training experience when I first started, people disrespected me. They're like, "Get the fuck out of here," because I was skinny as shit, which rightfully so it should be. Because if I had a fat personal trainer or some shit like that, I would very very much question, unless they're a performance coach that used to play a sport or something like that. But I would very much question, like, if there was a fat personal trainer, I'm like, wait, how the fuck are you gonna get me lean? And at the same time, I would also question someone who's been on roids, like who got their transformation on roids. I'd be like, how the fuck are you gonna tell me how to get results if you're, out of shape type shit? I mean, I know you got your degree and everything, but I mean, you never applied any of this shit, so it must not work. You see what I'm saying? All right. My favorite part about all this body game shit is the highest form of self love, right? Or not the highest form of self love, the highest feat a human could reaches inspiring others, and that's definitely been my favorite thing. Because getting the messages, and I appreciate y'all for sending the messages, by the way. Getting the messages of people like, "Yo, I'm on body game, man," and like, everything changed, bro. Like, dating game opened up, or people being like, "Yo, I dropped 50 pounds, changed my life," shit like that. That gets me going. But then also all the clients that I've helped and stuff like that as well, reversing type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes, lowering cholesterol, getting people off medications. I even had this one lady, and she actually ended therapy, once she started training, really locking in and shit like that. So that's definitely my favorite thing, man. That's the best feeling in the world, man. Not gonna lie, man. Not gonna lie. So that's why I do this shit, because fitness, like even if you don't do fitness, like I say, a lot of the stuff I just talked about, like the dating shit, that's literally just a side effect of body game. It is not like you're not using body game to get chicks, right? You're not doing that. That's not how it works, and that's what a lot of you guys think that's going on. You think I'm being like, yo, make sure you use body game to get chicks. No, that is not what I'm saying. And when I say stuff like, chicks will have genuine desire from you when you're on body game, you guys think I'm saying in order to like the best way to pull chicks is body game, which probably is honestly, but I'm still not saying that. I'm just saying it's a side effect, and I'm saying when you get on body game, you become the best version of yourself. You enter a lot of women's radars. You just do automatically. It just automatically happens. All right, you just automatically enter radars. That simple. They start to notice you, right? All right, and like I always say, fitness is not just your physique, right? Because in reality, your mindset is going to shift drastically, and that is the aspect that most people don't get. Like the identity video that I made, that's what I wanted it to be about. It's like you're not like in fitness, you're not just doing the push-ups and you're not eating the salads. That is not what's going on. You're looking at food as fuel. You're controlling yourself, right? You're able to have discipline to the point where you make yourself do things that you don't always want to do to get to where you want to get to, which applies to every aspect of life, not just fitness. All right, not just fitness. If you could progressively overload, you know, fitness, nutrition, if you can actually achieve body gain, which is the hardest part, then yeah, you're gonna get everything else in order. All right, because like if someone's like, hey man, work on this, work on social game, work on that, body game's harder than social game. So once you get the body game, people are more receptive to you because you're on body game and no one else is, right? Like my brother has so many stories of him walking in a bar. Obviously, he's gonna be the most aesthetic, and then all the chicks are looking. So then, since the chicks are looking, the dudes are like, "Whoa, the chicks are looking. Who is he?" Right. So then you get that curiosity and that aura and shit like that. So social games is gonna be easy as fuck because everyone's gonna be receptive, right? You can go hang out with some dudes, they're gonna be receptive, and then you guys are gonna be having fun, and the chicks are gonna see them, they're gonna come to you, right? Simple. All right. However, if you're out of shape or something like that, no one's fucking looking at you when you're walking in the bar, right? If your social skills aren't the greatest in the world, you're cooked. Like it's that simple. But the thing about mindset, like I said, is like not pressing the snooze button when you want to, getting uncomfortable to get to where you want to get to. I repeat that over and over, and at the end of the day, it is one of the rarest things people cannot achieve. Why? Because honestly, what would David Goggins say? He would just say they're bitches. All right, simple. And it's really not that deep because being out of shape, not being who you want to, that's hard as hell. Being in shape is just as hard. All right. Now, there's a lot of opportunities that come with Body Game. Obviously, I've done video shoots, paid partnerships because of Body Game, like with different gyms, different companies hitting me up on Instagram and stuff like that. So I've done a lot of that stuff. But it just opened my eyes to like the different opportunities. I got a lot of free clothes and free stuff as well. But yeah, it just really opened my eyes to a lot of different opportunities. And then I met other people who also had crazy opportunities. So then I really realized I was like, holy shit, there's this many opportunities. There was a my friend, right? It was a company, bro. They reached out to him and they sent him a fucking Smith machine, bro. They sent him like a $1,500 Smith machine for free. He just had to post once. I was like, bro, a $1,500 Smith machine, bro, and the shit was gas, bro. The shit was gas. I was like, yo, that's fire, right? Shit like that happened. But why did it happen? Because he actually looks like he fucking lifts, right? If they sent that to a fat dude, which they wouldn't do, I repeat, if they send that to a fat dude, they're not gonna do that. So I'm not even gonna make that a scenario. They're not doing it, right? It's just not happening. Now, I'm gonna say this one more time. If body game doesn't matter, every time you go to your crush, look at her who she's following. She's following all the lean dudes. She's following like Jason Love and like OBJ and all these lean motherfuckers and shit like that, right? That's who she's following. Why is she following them? Because they're on body game, right? She has a fat cousin that she's not following. Why? Because he's not on body game. All right. Simple shit, bro. Like just read it. All you gotta do is read the room. It's not that deep. Like you guys always think I'm like the thing is you guys think I'm either trying to push some shit or make up some shit. It's literally basic knowledge, but I'm just showing you. I'm like explaining it to you manifested, like it actually happening, right? Because that's what happened to me. It's like actually happening. Now, let me tell you guys this shit one more time with social media, all right? If you have a lot of muscle mass and you like play football and stuff like that, and you have like the genetics that look good when you're like 20% body fat, that's cool. You're gonna get a lot of followers. All right. There is a percentage of dudes who they're gonna look aesthetic if they store most of their if they're 20% body fat and they store a lot of fat in like their upper chest and their shoulders, and then they still have the wide back, they're gonna look, they're gonna look good at 20%. All right. But a lot of people at 20%, it's just all stomach, right? So it doesn't look good. So if you're 10 to 15% body fat and you're clean cut, you're automatically getting 10K followers on like TikTok or Instagram. It's just happening. It's just happening, bro. It's literally gonna happen. All right. And the thing is, I had a lot of catfish pages over the year, and one of them actually got up to like 15K followers or some shit like that. The reason they catfish is because it's easier to copy my pictures, right, and just like screenshot them and then post than it is for them to get into shape. Let's keep it a buck, all right? And they're trying to pull chicks, and a lot of times chicks are always like, even last week a chick messaged me and she's like, "Hey, there's someone using your pictures on a fake Snapchat, right? And they're hitting me up." See, they know body game's important, bro. So they take my pictures so they can pull some chicks, right? And it should be working, bro. I'd be watching what they say. I'm like, yo, they have no fucking like DM game, and they're getting this chick, bro. Like they were getting hella chicks just saying some weird shit like, "You are beautiful. You are the starshine of my like some goofy ass shit that I would never say." And they're pulling these chicks, and I was like, yo, this chick is kind of bad, bro. She got listen. I actually got some layups, some shit like that. Like a chick was like, "This dude's catfishing you. What the fuck?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like, what's wrong with him, man? Where you from?" "Oh shit, you're right around the corner." And then yeah, shit like that. Anyways, right? If you see a in shape, clean cut realtor, you're gonna give them more attention. They're gonna get more attention. They're gonna be more trusted than a sloppy realtor. No one trusts someone who can't trust themselves. It's that serious. OTF. Only the family, right? I can't trust myself. Only the family type shit. But seriously, if someone can't trust you, why the fuck would I mean? If you can't trust yourself, why the fuck would someone trust you? And personal branding is your physique and your look. All right. Now, generally, if you work on your physique, guess what you're gonna work on next? Your look, as far as your face, then your teeth. It goes hand in hand. Goes hand in hand. Now, I know a lot of people will say if you have a great face and an out of shape body, you get more chicks than someone who's in shape with not the best face. You guys have clearly not been to any parties or any frat parties, or just you guys just don't have open eyes, bro. Like there is a lot of dudes who would be objectively, you know, you can call them cooked in the face. Like I remember of first year of college, I was skinny, trying to get chicks. Now I was on mini body game because I started gaining a little bit more weight because of my gastritis was healing. So I started getting a little bit of abs, but I was still like 155. And there was some dude, he was like 5'8". He had a crazy physique, right? But his face was cooked, and he was probably like his conversational skills were just not there. I don't know if it was just if he was like ESC or some shit, but he was cooked. Like I'm not gonna lie, but his physique was on point. Every time we went out, bro, this dude got all the chicks, bro. It was insane, bro. It was crazy, and he'll just be like, huh, oh, like it was crazy, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, like he would get all the chicks, bro. And then some other dude had like crazy mouthpiece and like some rapping skills and shit, and like he would use all that other stuff. But the one dude that was like cooked, he was getting attention everywhere because his physique was on point. All right, anyways, Discord is in the bio, man. This is what's gonna be in the Discord. Simple shit, man. Improving your credit. Now, as far as improving credit, bro, very very simple. But that'll be in there. Stock trading, grow on social media. The shit that you guys ask all the time, it's all gonna be in the Discord, man. I'm trying to create a community of, or we are creating a community of locked in people, man, because a lot of you guys are already on body game or getting closer to that. So just just really wanted a locked in community of fellas that are on the same grind type shit. So stay locked in, man. Links in the description. Stay blessed.